There is a substance sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now, worth about 50 cents, that can permanently multiply the earthworm population living underneath your lawn, and earthworms are doing more for your grass than any bag of synthetic fertilizer you've ever bought. I'm not talking about a garden bed trick. I'm talking about your actual turf, the lawn you mow every week, and the invisible workforce living 6 inches under it that most homeowners have never once considered. I'm going to show you what this kitchen staple is, why it works even better on lawn soil than it does on garden beds, 3 specific ways to apply it, and why an industry built on selling you bags and bottles every season has absolutely no reason to ever tell you about it. Summer of 2013. A property outside Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Gene Vogt's lawn, the same tall fescue property I'd worked on for years. Gene had a habit that used to genuinely annoy me as his lawn care provider. He'd pour his leftover rice rinse water straight onto a section of his back lawn instead of down the drain, something his grandmother apparently did on her farm decades earlier. I told him more than once it was pointless. Rinse water on a lawn does nothing, I said. It's not fertilizer, it'll just soak in and disappear. Then one September, I pulled a soil core from the section of his yard where he'd been doing this for 2 seasons, right next to a section where he hadn't. I wasn't testing for rice at all, I was testing something else entirely: soil compaction. What I found stopped me. The section with the rice water treatment had noticeably more earthworm channels running through the core sample than any section of that property I'd tested in years. Same soil type, same watering, same mowing schedule. The only variable was what Gene had been pouring on it. I called a soil ecologist I'd worked with on a previous consulting project and described what I was seeing. She told me something that reframed how I think about lawn biology permanently. You're not feeding your lawn when you do that. You're feeding what feeds your lawn. There's a difference, and almost nobody in the lawn care industry talks about it. Here's the actual science behind what I saw in Gene's soil. And here's something specific I want to address first, because it matters for anyone applying this to turf instead of a garden bed. Why this works differently, and arguably better, on lawn soil than garden beds. A garden bed gets turned over, amended, and disturbed regularly. Lawn soil doesn't. Once a lawn is established, that soil profile stays largely undisturbed for years, sometimes decades, which means whatever biological population you build in it tends to persist and compound rather than getting reset every planting season. The trade-off is that lawn soil under conventional synthetic fertilizer programs tends to run lower in organic matter and microbial diversity than actively garden soil, simply because most homeowners never add organic inputs to their turf the way they might to a vegetable bed. That's actually the opportunity here. Lawn soil has more room to improve, and once you build earthworm activity into it, that undisturbed profile lets the population establish and hold rather than getting disrupted by the next season's tilling. The engine under your lawn nobody talks about. 1 square meter of healthy soil can contain over 300 earthworms. Each one processes roughly its own body weight in organic matter every single day, converting dead plant material and thatch into castings that university soil science research has measured as significantly higher in nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium than the surrounding soil. A widely cited 2014 meta-analysis published in Scientific Reports analyzed 58 controlled studies and found earthworm presence increases plant biomass by an average of roughly 20 to 25%. For lawn soil specifically, that translates to better thatch breakdown, natural aeration through worm tunneling that reduces compaction without a machine, and a steady nutrient supply from castings that synthetic granular fertilizer doesn't replicate in the same slow-release form. So what actually multiplies earthworm populations in soil? Not the soil itself, not roots. Earthworms eat microbes, bacteria and fungi colonizing decomposing organic matter. Feed the microbes and the earthworms follow. If you watched my soil biology and CEC video from earlier this year, you already know I care about what's happening underground as much as what's visible on the surface. This is the next layer of that conversation. Method 1. Fermented rice water, the full lawn application. This is the version I'd recommend starting with because it's the easiest to apply across an entire lawn rather than just isolated spots, and it has the strongest direct field research behind it. When you rinse uncooked rice before cooking, the cloudy runoff contains dissolved starches, amino acids, and micronutrients leached from the grain surface. Fermented at room temperature for 24 to 48 hours, it becomes a concentrated liquid microbial inoculant. A 2023 study published in the journal Helion tested fermented rice water across multiple field planting cycles, and documented a significant increase in beneficial soil bacterial populations, including nitrogen-fixing organisms, alongside measurable improvements in plant growth and nutrient uptake compared to untreated soil. Rinse 1 cup of uncooked rice in 2 cups of water, save the cloudy water, cover loosely, and let it sit at room temperature for 2 to 3 days until it develops a mildly sour smell. That's active fermentation, not spoilage. Dilute it 1-to-1 with fresh water and apply it with a garden sprayer across your lawn once a week through the growing season. Method 2. Crushed rice, for thin or struggling sections. For specific bare or thin patches where you want concentrated biological activity, crushed uncooked rice provides a slower, longer-lasting food source than the liquid method, breaking down gradually over 2 to 4 weeks rather than days. A study in the International Journal of Environmental Health examined rice bran and broken rice residues as feedstock in earthworm systems and documented meaningfully elevated nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium levels in the resulting castings compared to non-rice-fed controls. Crush dry rice lightly with a rolling pin. You're cracking the grain open, not making flour, and scatter it at 1 to 2 tablespoons per square foot directly on the target patch. Work it lightly into the top inch of soil and cover with a thin layer of top dressing to retain moisture. Repeat monthly on sections you're specifically trying to rebuild. Method 3. Cooked rice, for a fast microbial spike. If you want to see visible response fastest, plain cooked rice, no oil, salt, or seasoning, scattered on the soil surface begins attracting microbial colonization within 24 to 48 hours, noticeably faster than the crushed raw version. Multiple University Extension vermicomposting programs, including Cornell Cooperative Extension's Home Composting Guidance, list plain cooked rice among the fastest decomposing organic inputs available for triggering microbial activity. Earthworms aren't eating the rice directly, they're consuming the bacterial and fungal bloom the rice generates. Scatter 2 to 3 tablespoons per square foot on the specific area you're treating, press it lightly into the thatch, and cover with top dressing. This works well as an occasional booster between your regular fermented water applications, rather than as your primary ongoing method. How to combine all 3 across a season. Here's how I'd actually structure this if I were running it on my own lawn. Weekly fermented rice water as your baseline, full lawn application. Monthly crushed rice specifically on any thin or bare patches you're trying to rebuild. Occasional cooked rice as a booster on a section where you want to see faster visible response, maybe before a specific event or inspection. The 3 methods aren't competing options, they're different tools for different needs, the same way I'd never tell you to pick one part of a fertility program and ignore the rest. Why you have never heard this from a lawn care company. Here's the uncomfortable business reality. A synthetic fertilizer program depends on repeat purchases every season, indefinitely. There's no profit margin in telling a homeowner that 50 cents worth of rice they already own can trigger a biological process that reduces how much product they need to buy season after season. This isn't a hidden conspiracy where someone actively suppressed research. These studies are public and searchable by anyone. It's simpler than that. An industry built on selling bagged and bottled inputs every season has no financial incentive to fund marketing around a kitchen staple that quietly competes with its own product category. The honest limitations. I want to be direct about what this doesn't do because overselling it would be dishonest. This is not a fast fix for a lawn with a severe immediate nutrient deficiency. Earthworm population building happens over weeks and months, not days. If you need rapid green up before a specific event, this isn't that tool. A targeted synthetic or organic fertilizer application is. This also isn't a substitute for correct mowing height, proper watering, and basic soil pH management. It's a biological amplifier layered on top of fundamentals you still need to get right. And moderation matters. University extension guidance is consistent. Too much starchy material applied at once can temporarily create low oxygen conditions in soil as microbial activity spikes rapidly. Small, frequent applications outperform one large dump every time. Jean's lawn, the one that started all of this for me, still gets fermented rice water applied weekly through the growing season, 9 years later. Turns out his grandmother's farm habit was ahead of where the published research eventually caught up to. The total cost for running this across a full growing season lands well under $5, less than a single bottle of liquid fertilizer at any garden center, and unlike that bottle, it doesn't stop working once it's empty. Every application feeds the microbial community that feeds the earthworms that build your soil, season after season. Next video, I'm covering exactly how to read your soil's compaction level with nothing but a screwdriver, and why that test tells you more about your lawn's true health than any color you can see from the porch. Start your rice water tonight. 50 cents, a jar, and a workforce underground that's been doing this since long before synthetic fertilizer existed. See you in the next one.